have to always remember that Quran clearly stated no, there is one religion which is submission, which is Islam. It's a complete religion. Now, if someone tell you that all believers of books, which they believe in other books, are they gonna go to hell? All of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala consider them as one? No. Last night, in fact, there were two young men. He came to me and they were asking question about this concern, because some of believers of the book, other religion, clearly and straightly they will tell you in your face that if you don't believe in their book, you're gonna get to hell. But Muslims, they don't say. Quran, it doesn't say that. It differentiates between a believer of book who believes in the day of judgment, who believes in God, who do righteous deeds, and again, very important fact that the message of Islam, the message of Quran, the true message of Quran, they didn't receive that message. That's a very important fact. To reach salvation in the day of judgment. So as long as a person couldn't get the message, and the message didn't reach to them clearly that they could believe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala of course would forgive them and will judge based on their action that how much they were following their prophet. Yes? يُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ وَلَيْسُوا سَوَاءً in Surah Al-Imran. He said that they are not equal. There are a group of people that they believe in other books, and they believe in the day of judgment. They recite their book, and they stay at night and stand up and they do prayer and talk and communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and cry and shed tears. They become that much close and near to their God, to their Lord. The second issue, which this one was about for last night topic, that I was trying to make it clear that this question, this is there is answer into this in Quran, which the religion is one. It's Islam, and Quran is very clear about this concern and issue. Recite that salawat, please.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
One thing in the West that we need to be always aware of is there is a beautiful narration by Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wassalam.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Al-mu'minu kal-jabal al-rasikh. A believer is like mountain strong. This believer in the eyes of Amir al-Mu'mineen Ali alayhi salatu wassalam is very strong, and he or she keeps and hold on to that strength that she has. You know, we have difficulties in our life. We're working hard every day, wake up, go work. And sometimes this worldly life will take us where the person always try to hold on to his or her religion, but this individual think that it's very hard to keep it up, keep going and keep trying to keep that faith. Sometimes it becomes very hard and challenging. And this challenge is everywhere. It doesn't matter you're living in the West or in the East. This challenge, it's different. Those people that they live in Muslim countries, they face different challenges. Some people that they live in the West, they feel and they face different challenges. But this idea that a believer's heart is like a mountain, strong, and he does not have any fear, he doesn't get sad over anything, Yes? He doesn't get happy even over anything. He doesn't get excited for anything that maybe, many people, they get excited. But this believer, in the eyes of Amir al-Mu'mineen, no. His heart and his belief is like a mountain, very strong. Why is important this narration? Because sometimes one sin, one bad action, evil action in a society becomes very normal. It's kind of like norm of that society. But in reality, it's a horrible action, it's a horrible deed. Yes? We have some certain, action in our values. Those deeds are very bad. We don't accept it. Our religion doesn't accept that. But it becomes a norm. Everyone does it. Even the way some people, they talk. Yes? They're keeping this tongue and controlling this tongue. And talking gently. We have a narration, those people, they curse a lot. They cannot even smell the heaven. They cannot even smell that heaven. It's just an example. You can go and list maybe huge list that in different societies, some certain things are common and norm. It's a norm for that society. But a believer, it's like mountain strong. If everyone does the same thing, is everyone uses riba, for example, everyone does it. But this mountain, it's like a mountain. He's strong. He doesn't shake for, the concern of future, for example. No. He's like a mountain strong. Another thing, in the West, which everyone, Muslims, they need to be always aware of, is building and creating a strong community. There is a beautiful passage in Dua Kumail, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam. This dua is like a revelation. This Dua Kumail is a very special dua. First revealed to Khidr, Nabi. He was a prophet. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this dua to him. And then Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam narrated this dua to Kumail, one of the best student of him, spiritual student. In one passage in that dua, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam is calling Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and making this beautiful dua. وَأَجْتَمِعْ فِي جَوَارِكَ مَعَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. I want some company, make those people, those believers surrounding me, that I am always surrounded by people that they are believers. Community in this, in Muslim society, like I said last night, you learn many things from others. When you go to school, when you go your masjid, when you go even walking in the street, you may learn things that, it's part of Islamic values, right? But in the West, it's different. Muslim countries, masjid, they're always operating by people, sometimes by government. So many countries, people even they're not involved much with their masjid. But in the West, people need to create that. And keeping this community alive and keeping that unity alive is not easy, because conflicts are always there. Sometimes shaitan is working and trying to whisper to the heart of believers, especially about this unity. Shaitan always works because he doesn't like that. He doesn't like believers, they get together. He does not like it. he hates it, because everything starts from there. If a community start building and start giving fruits, what happened? A lot of young people, they start growing up in that community, learn Islamic values, things that Shaitan and his soldiers, they don't like that. So first is building community, which alhamdulillah we have. It's a very great blessing that a city, those people that they migrated long time ago, when you sit with them, they will share with you a lot of stories that they couldn't find a masjid to go to in Muharram, to pray, to Friday. But alhamdulillah, now we have a lot of masjids all over the United States and in the West. We have this. But the issue and the challenge is keeping that alive. Because opening a masjid is not that much hard. The hard part, the most hard and difficult part, is keeping that alive and try to make it better than last year, right? There are a lot of benefits for keeping and creating communities, and there is beautiful ayah actually in I believe it's Surah Al-An'am or Ma'idah. I think it's Ma'idah. The second ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ وَالتَّقْوَى يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا أَوْفُوا بِالْعُقُودِ. It starts with this. O believers, keep your promises, keep your words. When you say something, keep it. And then he continues that believers need to work together. وَتَعَاوَنُوا عَلَى الْبِرِّ, for good. Keep working together for good. وَالتَّقْوَى, and be pious. When you're working for good, be sincere. And try to always make your heart, your intention more sincere, and work on that. Because no one is perfect. And it's very sad. There is actually there is a khutbah in sermon in Nahj al-Balagha, when Imam Ali ﷺ is talking to his soldier, and he's telling them that I'm tired of you because I keep saying the same thing, but you guys don't understand it, and you're tired of me because I keep saying the same thing, and you don't care about it even. And then he continues. Look at the mazlumiyat, the loneliness of someone who is the most wise and the most knowledgeable, the most perfect person in his society, but people, they don't understand him. That's the situation of Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam. He has everything, but people, I don't want all those good things that you have. He's like, I want to free you, but people, we don't want to be free. We're good. In one passage in that khutbah, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam is pointing to people that, listen, those people that they're following Muawiyah, the enemy of Amir al-Mu'mineen, they're working on evil. They're working and they're going to a wrong direction and false direction. They're following falsehood. But at least they're together. And you're in a right direction, but you fight among each other. You understand the pain that Ali ibn Abi Talib ﷺ had for his society, because he cares about his society, he cares about the ummah, as Imam al-Husayn ﷺ cared. Alright? Why Imam al-Husayn ﷺ got out from his comfort zone, from his house? Why? What is the reason? All these masa'ib and difficulties and suffering for one reason. I want to keep or give life to this book. I want to free people from tyrants. I want to give them a broader perspective of this world. And they don't need to be oppressed by these tyrants. They don't need to be enslaved by these people. So working with community and creating the community and keeping actually alive that community is a very important fact that people that they live in the West, it's very crucial for them, more crucial than Muslim countries. Recite aloud salam. There are many factors, again, that we have to consider. One of them is family structure, keeping good relationship with your family, taking care of your family, and giving enough time to your family. Even though if you don't have time, you have to free time. You have to give time for your children, for your family. It's very important. Today, the family structure is very important for Shia, because we're building a good society for, inshallah, Imam al-Mahdi ajjallahu ta'ala farajhu sharif. And children cannot grow up in the best way that the Imam want in a broken family. So keeping that family is very important, inshallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala always, and also we have to ask Him always that help us through this path, inshallah. Learning the religion, not only very simple stuff, no, deeply understanding it, try to read books, try to deepen the knowledge of Islam, because again, children will ask us, come to us and ask different and difficult questions, and sometimes you don't have access to ask others. So it needs some certain knowledge to, inshallah, answer those questions, inshallah. Recite aloud salam, please. One story, very quickly, inshallah, musibat. One of my friends, he decided to move from Qom to go to a non-Muslim country. And he went to one of the great Maraja. He's one of the most famous Maraja today. And he asked him, I'm going to a non-Muslim country, what kind of advices you give me, please, that I can remind myself always. He said, I give you one advice. He said, increase your mustahabbat and remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you have wajibat and you have muharramat. Take care of those things, and also add mustahabbat into your actions. Because in a non-Muslim country, you need those mustahabbat, you need some dhikr, and be reminded. Keep reminding yourself that inshallah you can reach salvation. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the understanding of Quran. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He help us, that we can deepen our knowledge for Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wassalam, our knowledge of Quran, our knowledge of Islam, inshallah. Assalamu alayka ya Aba Abdullah. Assalamu alayka ya Mazlum. Assalamu alaykum ya Ahla Bayt an-Nubuwwah. Assalamu ala al-Husayn wa ala Ali ibn al-Husayn wa ala Jawad al-Husayn wa ala ashab al-Husayn. The suffering of Ahlul Bayt will sadden every heart. Even the hardest heart will shed tears for Abi Abdullah. At the evening of Ashura, when Imam al-Hussein was alone, he lost Abul Fa'a, he lost Akbar, he lost Ali Asghar, Qasim, everyone. He was the only one that he could go to the battlefield. He went to the tent for wada' to say the last words of him. There is a young boy, he's 11 years old, Abdullah ibn Hassan. He's the son of Imam al-Hassan. Abdullah ibn Hassan asked permission to going to the battlefield from Imam. Imam al-Hussein looked on him and told him, "You're only the son of Imam al-Hassan here. How can I let you go? Even though I'm alone in this battlefield. But what kind of words the enemy would tell me if I let you go?" Abdullah became very sad. Imam al-Hussein went to the battlefield. He fought very bravely. Eventually, the enemy could get the Imam al-Hussein in one spot. Different people, they used to attack Imam al-Hussein from all over the land of Karbala. Some people with rocks, some people with swords, some people with arrows. Abdullah is watching from the tent, and his hand is in the hand of Zainab al-Kubra, salamullah alayha. When Abdullah saw one enemy is trying to reach Imam and cut the head of Imam al-Hussein, he said to his aunt Zainab al-Kubra, "Wallah, la ufariq ammi, Wallah, by Allah, I would not be separated from my uncle." He ran to the battlefield and he was trying to save Imam al-Hussein. He put his hand and the enemy cut the hand of Abdullah ibn Hassan. Imam al-Hussein hold the hand of Abdullah. The head of Abdullah was on the lap of Imam al-Hussein. Harmala brought 3 arrows, special arrows. He poisoned those arrows beforehand. One of those arrows he used for Abbas. This is Harmala la'natullah alayh. Another arrow he shot to Abdullah. The arrow hit the chest of Abdullah ibn Hassan. La la'natullah ala al-qawm al-zalimin. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. حسين مظلوم، حسين 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 حسين
حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين حسين Hussein, 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 Hussein.
You are not the only one, Sayyid Hussein. Now please help me. After a phrase, say Hussein. Everybody and everything says Hussein. ماه میگوید حسین. Hussein.
Hussein.
Answer.